I'm really happy for our group, particularly our four seniors, to be able to go out like that. That wasn't easy when you're faced knowing that this is your last game and there's nothing sitting out there waiting on you. It's difficult, and I thought these guys attacked it just as they have all year, with a great deal of maturity. That's the one thing I'd say about these guys is they showed up to work, they competed, and if they can take that with them from this season, they're going to be really successful in life. There's a lot of people in the world that can't go to work every day, can't show up, can't handle adversity, can't fight through difficult things, just throw in the towel way too quick, and that's not what these guys have. I thought they showed their true character tonight with how they competed when there's nothing out there for them. It could have been easy, and they hadn't done that all year. It's not something I'd have been really disappointed if we didn't play well tonight, and they certainly did that. I think that's a season high in assists. I thought our defense the first half was really good, and you're playing against a team that's trying to somehow they still had a chance to get in the tournament and had everything in front of them. And so for our guys to show out that way, really good. I thought we talked about chasing our best 40 minutes. I don't know if that was our best 40, but our first 20 was pretty good. I just thought they did a lot of good things. It was just kind of it just showed who this team is, and how they stayed together and fought through, an entire season, because I'm sure it didn't go the way that they expected, but they did what only 1% of the world can do, and they continue to show up every day and fight. So really super proud of them. We got contributions, 4 guys in double figures, 9 and 7, and got a lot of really good things from a lot of players tonight. So very, very happy for them and very proud of them.
Yeah, I guess starting off with the seniors, how much did those 4 guys mean to this program?
Well, it's different. I saw a thing on the internet about the Power 4 leagues, that there's only 22 scholarship Power 4 basketball players that are walking on senior night the same place where they started. That's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. So this group is a little bit different because they were just here 1 year, but I think Devin and Jawan came here looking to be point guards, okay, and with our situation, I thought taking 2 guys instead of 1 was the right decision. Last spring I was wrong. And it's not those guys. It's not those 2 guys' fault. I was asking them for a majority of the year to do something they're not capable of doing. They're both really good basketball players. Point guard's just not them, right? And, like I said to some alumni before the game, being a point guard is more than just dribbling the ball up the court. Being the quarterback's more than taking the snap. And those guys continue to work and try to fight. It's not that they didn't want to do that. It's just I was putting them in bad positions. Elmore came here from Ohio within our league. Just very solid, did a lot of different things for us that were positive. And then Cam came across the country. And, I just had two of the freakiest injuries that I've ever seen as a basketball coach, as far as, breaking an elbow and then the dislocation of that big toe was, it's not a sight I really care to see again. And so, those 4 guys, gave us, what they had and what they were capable of, and I will appreciate their resolve and resiliency.
Yeah, you mentioned the season high in assists, also 58% shooting from the field. What do you feel like sparked that offensive performance tonight?
Well, the ball moved. I thought we had good spacing. I thought we were able to, put them in some positions where we had some matchups that we could attack. And then they know what their deficiencies are, so then they try to shrink the floor very quickly, and we were able to make the right decisions and get some open looks, and we made shots. Obviously your offense looks a lot better when the ball goes in, right? And so our shooting percentage was good. The ball was going in, guys were taking shots. I don't think we got any different shots tonight than we were getting all year, but we were able to convert them tonight.
You've talked all year about, how much this team fights, how much this team practices, and how much they work. How nice was it to see them, not throw in the towel whenever it was, 3-11 in the conference and finish strong and end on a 4-game win?
Yeah, it's impressive because 99% of the world can't do it, right? everybody wants to talk about what these guys do. Everybody wants to talk about what our coaching staff does. Like, they can't do it, right? I know this. Like, we don't sit around, or our players don't sit around talking about them, right? But I think that resolve that they have can carry on for them to be successful in their life. And that's really what this experience is really all about, setting these guys up to be successful in life.
Yeah, and then what was your favorite part of just coaching this group now that's kind of all said and done?
They show up every day. They didn't, they weren't perfect, but, they showed up every day. They worked to get better. And I think, I'm disappointed with where our program is for a lot of different reasons, but I'm not disappointed in what this group accomplished. I mean, this group accomplished exactly probably what was in store for them. Like, I knew last spring a year like this could be on the horizon, and it had nothing to do with those guys. These guys gave us what they had. They competed every day. You saw it, and they continue to grow throughout the season. I think that speaks a lot about our staff, and I think it speaks a lot about the guys in that locker room.
Yeah, and then how fast do off-season stuff start with recruiting or kind of looking forward to next year?
Well, we're already we're already doing a lot of that. Like, that stuff never stops. There's the portal, whether it doesn't open until April, but trust me, it's open. And there's I mean, it's what it is, man. Like, and so we've already in some conversations with our current people, and we've been evaluating others for quite some time. I've spent a lot of my time kind of behind the scenes the last 6 weeks, and having conversations with some people connected with Ball State, some people not connected with Ball State, trying to put us in a better position to attract some of those guys. Some of the conversations have ended in no's, but we've had some momentum here in the last 6 to 10 days. That started probably about a month ago with a lead, and like, you just continue knocking on different doors and calling different people, meeting different people, and explaining the situation, educating kind of what we're going through, what this is, because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and so we've got a little crack. We got to be able to push some things across the finish line, but I think if we're able to do that, it can be a game changer for the basketball program here at Ball State. And so we still got a lot of work to do there, but I think there's some opportunity to grow it, and you gotta see what that leads to.
For sure. All right. Yeah, I guess just starting off through all the ups and downs of the year, how nice was it not only to finish with a win here, but a 4-game win streak?
It definitely was. It was amazing. Honestly, it was an even better feeling. Like, we went through our ups and downs, but my most enjoyable part about this team was just how close everybody was through everything. Like, it was never really a dull moment. Like, it's just like the little stuff, like being on road trips, like being on the bus, being in the locker room before practice, after. It's just a little stuff like that. Like, and I feel like that's why we was able to just stay together. Like, obviously it sucks we can't go to the MAC tournament and stuff, but the fact that we was able to go out the right way and win 4 in a row, I think that feels a lot much better than just giving up. Like Coach was telling us, like we could have easily gave up and stuff, but we all stayed together and we got it done today on senior night. So that's what's most important.
Yeah, but it was definitely big. I think our team deserved it. Our seniors deserved it. Like Al said, it's unfortunate we couldn't, keep going. I think we're starting to really play our best basketball at this time. So it's unfortunate, but it was just great to go out with 4 wins, and like I said, we deserved it and our seniors deserved it.
Yeah, I guess talking about how close this team is, what are the just emotions right now of just playing the last time as one group?
It definitely it hit me at the end, kind of when I just saw the shot clock going to 0. I felt like I was gonna be fine all day. I kept telling myself, but once I saw it about to go to 0, and I was looking at all my teammates and stuff, looking at the strength coach, all the coaches and stuff, I kind of just got a little feeling in my stomach, kind of, I'm going to really miss everybody and stuff, what we built since June. So it's definitely fun to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah, like Al said, just walking off, I was walking in the locker room, I told my teammates, I'm like, I just got this little like sad wave across my body, and I was just like, but it's a happy sad, you know. Like we've been through our ups and downs, but like Elle said, we're all close. We hang out, you know. Our older guys have been leaders to us young guys. I mean, do you consider me a young guy?
Huh?
You would consider me a young guy?
Yeah, I consider you.
Us young guys. So yeah, it was just it was sad, but it's a happy sad. It's a happy sad.
Definitely.
Yeah, it felt like you guys came out with a lot of energy. I mean, you jumped out to a double-digit lead pretty early. I guess how was that able to happen? Kind of what energy did you guys come out with?
I would say we just, like we knew it was going to be our last one in Worthing. Obviously, we wanted to go out with a bang. We had a great home crowd all season, and they continued to show up and support us even when we was losing. So it was only right for us to just stay together and stay composed and, get another win in front of them. We also knew Central had a chance to go to the tournament, and they got a pretty good team. They've been playing pretty good basketball as of late, too, at this part of the season. But at the same time, we knew we couldn't just lay over and just, allow them to get a spot in the tournament. We wanted to, go out the right way, and just continue to keep fighting no matter what. So.
Yeah, it was like Elle said, our last one in Worthing. It was big for us. Just it being our last game, I felt like we owed it to the fans because even through our ups and downs, the fans were great this year. So I felt like we owed it to them. We owed it to ourselves, just knowing it was our last game. And yeah.
Yeah, I guess you guys both kind of talked about it, but what is the emotions on the court when everybody stands up, everybody's cheering, and you realize it's the last game?
It's definitely contagious. Like Davion said, it's a good it's a good sad, pretty much. It's definitely a good relief. The fact that we could at least say that we went out the right way. We didn't just just say forget it. We're not going to the tournament. Whatever about this game. But instead, we all had a talk. We said we was gonna try to have our best 40. Put our best 40 together. Like coach was telling us. I feel like we was able to do that today, honestly. So.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Davon, for you personally, having 25, how nice was it to end the year with that personal, game?
It was nice, Like I said, we were trying to get a win, and I was able to, get something to go tonight. So I wanted to, do it for our seniors, and I felt like we deserved it. The fans deserved it, and we were able to get the win.
Yeah, and then just one last question. How do you guys feel like you guys have grown personally this season?
I would say, personally, for me, I feel like I grew a little more vocally. I came in as a quiet person naturally, kind of, but I knew I had to get outside of my comfort zone, and just embrace those type of things too, And I feel like once I started embracing those type of things, I was able to see a difference in a lot of different things, honestly, in my life. So I feel like I would say just being more vocal, and just trying to be more of a leader, especially for my senior year, just to go out the right way.
I think I've grown as a teammate, and just me focusing on the little things about basketball. Sometimes I think us players tend to be I'm gonna just go out there and just be able to just go to work or whatever they may say. But I just felt like I grew in that aspect. Just the little things, just the little things. Just the little parts of basketball that aren't off court. It's everything. Yeah.